Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're all doing really well and you've had a fantastic week this week. I'm Lindsay, your host of the Heavy Metal Journal and writer for the Moshville Times. And today I am back with New Metal Monday, where I talk about my favourite new releases of the week. And today I have 5 brand new albums that I want to talk about. And I'm just going to jump straight into these before this heat wave that we're experiencing in Scotland right now completely wipes me off the face of the earth. I don't handle the heat very well at all, so I'm going to get this done quickly so I can go die in the corner for a little bit. Okay, so the first album that I have on today's list is Born of Osiris with Through Shadows, and this is the 7th studio album from the technical symphonic deathcore band from the US. Now, this album is an incredibly fun and addictive album to listen to. You've got a lot of really cool synths and keyboards throughout, breakdowns everywhere, you've got really technically precise and very intricately detailed riffs, thunderous drums, and a good balance between guttural growls and screams and cleaner style vocals. But not only that, you also have very crisp melodics, really cool chugging bass lines, and stomping mid-tempo djenty moments as well. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see how this band operates going forward, because I had the opportunity to see them when they were a 5-piece, then a 4-piece, and now they are a 3-piece band. What I have to point out about bands like Born of Osiris is they lose a lot of their energy in a studio setting. So if you take that studio album and then amplify that by about 1,000, that's the level of energy that you get from bands like Born of Osiris live. The atmosphere and the energy and the power that comes from a live setting at one of their shows is electrifying, and the whole place is bouncing. So if you take the studio album, which is a really good studio album, and then amplify that in a live setting, absolutely fantastic. Now, I did write a full album review breaking the album down track by track in a lot more detail for Moshville Times, so I'll have that linked in the description box below if you want to go and check that out. But if you are a fan of the likes of After the Burial, Shadow of Intent, and Make Them Suffer, this one is definitely for you. The keyboards and the synths in this are incredible. They are so ridiculously catchy, and they weave in and out of all the deathcore and the djenty kind of melodic death elements as well. Fantastic album, incredibly fun to listen to. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so next up on today's list, I have Calva Louise with Edge of the Abyss. And this is the 4th studio album from the international alt metal band. Now, it's really difficult to describe this band in terms of subgenre because they completely defy all of those boundaries. You have a lot of modern metal elements, you've got alt rock, you've got electronica. In fact, there's huge electronica elements in this, and there's quite a lot of Latin elements throughout this as well. But what I can confirm is this is a highly addictive and incredibly catchy album. There's something quite seductive about this record as well, but at the same time it goes incredibly hard and it is so unbelievably catchy. The vocal style is almost creepy, it's very seductive and ethereal when it comes to the clean vocals, but when those screams come in, they are feral, for a lack of a better word, and the guttural growls that come in as well are spectacular. And when I say spectacular, I also mean the breakdowns in this. The breakdowns in this album are immense. They completely wipe your face clean off. But then you have a lot of tracks that are a little bit softer, especially when the Latin influence comes in. But don't be mistaken when I say softer. They're not ballads, they're not slow by any means. They are incredibly artistic, but they still maintain that heaviness. So if you are a fan of the likes of Wargasm, Lake Malice, or Bloodywood, you're definitely going to want to get onto this. There's a lot going on in this album. It's multi-dimensional, it's incredibly layered, and so incredibly catchy. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so next up I have Impureza with Alcazares, and this is the 4th studio album from the death metal flamenco band from France and Spain. I was really excited to check out this album and I was not disappointed whatsoever. The death metal element and the flamenco element complement each other incredibly well, and it makes the album flow very artistically. Now, for some reason, and I don't know how they've done this, but the flamenco style is influenced by the death metal, which makes it incredibly heavy, but then the flamenco comes into the death metal and makes it incredibly smooth and flowy, and I love that they've managed to do that. Now, the album is entirely in Spanish. I have no idea what they're singing about, apart from the fact that they do base a lot of their themes on Spanish culture and history, which I think is really cool, which I'm wanting to delve into at some point. But it is a very intense album. The death metal side of things is incredibly heavy, so you have the chugging goodness, the intricate guitars, the guttural growls and roars, the thunderous drums, and the bass lines are incredibly dense and chugging as well. But then it switches into the flamenco style of things, and that's when the clean Spanish vocals come in. But it's not just the vocals and the lyrics that make it flamenco, it's the structure of the song, it's the production, and it's the layers that it adds, and it makes it incredibly fresh yet very powerful at the same time. So if you are a fan of the likes of Nile, Replicant, or Hate Eternal with a little bit of early Behemoth, this one is definitely for you, but definitely check it out. Again, it's something very different. The flamenco and the death metal complement each other incredibly well, and it's a very fun, energetic, and ridiculously heavy album to listen to. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so next up, I am going to have a hard time pronouncing the album name because of my Scottish accent, but I have Imperial Crystalline Entombment with abo- abominable astral summoning. Abominable, abominable astral summoning. There we go. And this is the third studio album from the black metal band from the US. Now, this is the epitome of icy and mysterious black metal. And even though they are a US black metal band, there's a huge Scandinavian presence, particularly early Norwegian black metal. So if that's your thing, you're definitely going to want to check this one out. Intense tremolos, really thunderous blast beats, and rasping screams and growls which are incredibly venomous. There's a harshness and a bleakness about this album. It is incredibly cold and brutally heavy, but even though it's intense and incredibly heavy, it's very sharp and precise at the same time. So if you are a fan of the likes of Immortal, Mayhem, Gorgoroth, that early kind of Norwegian black metal sound, this one is definitely for you, but definitely check this out. I love the album artwork. That frosty, bleak, cold atmosphere that you get from the album artwork is definitely what you get in the album as well. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so last up on today's list, but certainly by no means least, I have Augmented Existence with Edifice of Mortal Struggle. And this is the third studio album from the atmospheric black metal project from Finland. So this is another solo project, and we all know by now that I love these solo projects, regardless of what kind of subgenre it is. The fact that one person has all of this talent is absolutely amazing to me. But this one in particular, yes, it is atmospheric black metal, but it has a sci-fi and dystopian theme about it. So you can expect a lot of synths and keyboards throughout, which create this very ominous, technical atmosphere to it, which is incredibly foreboding, but is beautiful at the same time. Now, even though there is a very heavy presence of synths and keyboards throughout this album, it isn't oversaturated. It weaves in and out of the black metal to create this very rich atmosphere, again, without it being completely oversaturated. So it is still very much focused on the black metal side of things. The tremolos are incredible in this, the blast beats are intense, the vocal style is incredibly powerful, but it's also despairing at the same time, which really matches that dystopian kind of theme that the project is going for. The melodics are harsh, yet absolutely stunning. This is a highly addictive album to listen to. So if you are a fan of any of the atmospheric melodic black metal records that I've recommended on this channel previously, such as Vorga, Labyrinthus Stellarum, or the Laser Throne album from a couple of weeks ago, you're definitely going to want to get onto this one, but definitely check it out. Incredibly intense and rich melodic black metal with a lot of atmosphere and a lot of really cool dystopian sci-fi synths throughout. Definitely check it out. Do not sleep on this one. And that's it for this week's New Metal Monday. Once again, comment down below to let me know what you think of today's records. And if you have any of your own recommendations, please let me know and I will get them added to my ever-growing list. If you use Spotify, make sure to follow the Spotify playlist that I've linked in the description box below, because I update that every single Monday when one of these videos goes live. So if you use Spotify, make sure to follow that playlist. If you don't use Spotify, I have also included the band's Bandcamp links in the description box, just so you can find the music that I'm talking about as easily as possible. If you're on social media, all of my social media handles are in the description box below, so feel free to give me a follow over there. I am a lot more active usually on social media than I am over here when it comes to comments and interaction. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it all as always. I am absolutely dying in this heat wave. Scotland is not built for 29, 30 degrees Celsius plus. It's just absolutely not. I'm completely dying here. A lot of my audience is from the US. We don't have aircon at all anywhere apart from like shops and stuff, and our houses are smaller and they are built to retain heat because they're fully insulated. So it's like living in an oven constantly at the moment, and I am not faring very well at all with it right now. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a fantastic week. Stay safe, and I will see you very soon in my next video.